Carana.
The lamb is a lion, God of Zion, called him iron, feet is strong and strong in the giant. My father, he is God, Jesus, sovereign ruler.
Eat it, Jasmine. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Yeah, move, move, move. Yeah. Next, next, next.
Okay, feel him out. He's right here. No, right here. Okay, hold on. Wait, that's Frank. Lead us around. Yeah, these are really tight on your
One. Yeah, like that, like that.
Oh man!
Let's see who is the last.
They got stuck on the ship.
Look at Edward.
I think they got it.
3, 4, 5. Woo!
Let me get my insults back. We tried. We try to get his feet in my
La iglesia con el fin de maltratarlos, de perseguirlos. A Jacobo, hermano de Juan, lo mandó matar a espada. Al ver que esto agradaba a los judíos, procedió a pretender también a Pedro. Y esto sucedió durante la fiesta de los panes sin levadura. Después de arrestarlo, lo metió en la cárcel y lo puso bajo la vigilancia de 4 grupos de 4 soldados cada uno. Tenía la intención de hacerlo compadecer en el juicio público después de la Pascua. Pero mientras mantenían a Pedro en la cárcel, la iglesia oraba constante y fervientemente a Dios por él.
connected to the whole, when you're building a new building, a commercial building, not like a residential house, but actual large buildings, his group would come in and do a lot of design for HVAC systems, the integration of the HVAC, make sure they're installed correctly, and you guys do all the LEED. I don't know if you've heard of LEED. It's kind of like a really green initiative for a lot of buildings and consumption and stuff. So you guys are, I think you're certified as a LEED. You guys are LEED.
Yeah, we specialize in sustainable design for buildings.
Yeah, so there, he can talk to you a little bit more about that, but I figured you would see that on the job site. But I think this would give you a little more insight on those type of jobs, and also how to get into the field and how to make the most of the opportunities that you have in whatever industry you're working on, to be honest. It doesn't really matter if you work in retail or sales, there's always opportunities where you can do something better, which ultimately will make you do your job better, and often that gets recognized. Huge. Anyways, with further ado, here's Jason Nelson.
Airport buildings and large institution, military projects, things like that. So
That's where my focus is. Last year, I was promoted into leadership group in my company as the youngest leader ever in my company. So that was a point of distinction for myself, and really how most people would describe me nowadays is aggressive in how I take things on, ambitious in how I take things on. If you went back 15 years ago, if you talk to my friends 15 years ago, it would be pretty much the opposite. They would say he's a slacker, he doesn't do anything, he doesn't really care. In high school was an interesting time for me. I didn't really care about school so much. In high school, in grade 11, grade 12, I always thought, well, it'd be great to be an engineer. I didn't really understand what that took, but it was sort of this thing in the back of my mind. And I responded to that idea by failing grade 12. So that was, I didn't really go to grade 12. So learned that. Yeah, so I had to go back to grade 12, and I went back for a full year. And thankfully, I met a great group of people in grade 12 where they were actually just sort of taught me, well, you actually first have to go to school to pass it, and then actually taught me what it takes to, study and do all that sort of work. So I thought I was on a pretty good track when I got out of high school and I finally graduated. I couldn't get into many schools at that point, so I went to Kwantlen. And Kwantlen accepted me. I was taking just a basic course load, trying to get to a point where I could get into a university to do engineering, and then I got kicked out of Kwantlen because I basically fell back into all my own habits. So, like I said, sole learner. But I was thinking to myself, and I was working a maintenance job at that time, and I really liked what some of the guys were doing in actually designing the systems, and I'm like, okay, I need to actually get into this. So I applied to BCIT and got into the mechanical engineering technologist program by the skin of my teeth. And when I got into that program, it wasn't a full engineering program, but they said, if you apply yourself in this program, and you're able to get into sort of the top grades of the program, then you could actually get transferred to UVic and get a full engineering degree. And that was the first time something really clicked for me, something really mattered, and that was, okay, I actually see an ability to get an engineering degree. I'm going to apply myself, and that was the first time I actually succeeded in school.
And this time you have one chance to do it too.
Yeah, and you only have one chance to do it. So the 2 years I was at BCIT, I worked my ass off, and it really did, and it was rewarding, it was good, and I got into UVic, and I had to take a year off between BCIT and UVic, even though I got in at the time. I didn't have any money. I needed to find a way of, actually affording school. So I worked for a year, and I fell into this engineering consulting company where we were designing mechanical systems for buildings. And that, I met some great people in that company where they were able to actually encourage me, give me actually some real world experience in construction, in engineering. And by the time I was ready to go to UVic and I made a little bit of money, I went to UVic, I still couldn't really afford.
Hey, 1, 2, 3, go, guys, go!
Pastor, va a tener que adherirse ahí, pastor. Va a tener que adherirse ahí en este grupo porque Rubén no está.
Yeah, on 3. 1, 2. No, on 3. Okay. 1, 2. Watch out!
Okay, guys.